Have you ever needed to quickly navigate to specific locations in a long document or create cross references that update automatically? Word's bookmark feature is a hidden gem that can transform how you work with complex documents, saving you time and making your documents more dynamic. Navigating and referencing specific locations in long documents can be challenging. Scrolling through pages to find important sections is inefficient, and manually updating cross-references when content changes is tedious and error-prone. Many Word users don't realize that the program's bookmark feature provides an elegant solution to these problems. In this video, I show you how to use bookmarks to navigate quickly through your document, create dynamic cross-references, and build interactive elements that make your documents more user-friendly. Let's start by understanding what bookmarks actually are. A bookmark is essentially an invisible marker that you place in your document to identify a specific location or a selection of text. Think of it like the digital equivalent of placing your finger between pages in a book. I have a multi-page document open on the screen that we'll use to explore bookmarks. First, let's create a simple bookmark to mark an important location in the document. As you can see, this document is about Alice's adventures in Wonderland. Let's say that you want to mark the place in the story where Alice begins her conversation with the Cheshire Cat. The easiest way to find that part is to do a quick search. So I'm going to do a Control F, and then I'm going to type in Cheshire, and you can see that the options come up for this. But the conversation is actually, we'll jump down here just a little bit. Here's where the conversation starts. Now that I know the place, I can set the insertion point to the beginning of this paragraph right here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the navigation pane over here since I don't need it anymore. And now all I need to do is insert my bookmark. I do that by going to the Insert tab of the ribbon, and then I choose Bookmark. That displays the bookmark dialog box. Every bookmark has to have a name. Bookmark names must start with a letter, and they can contain only letters, numbers, and underscores. No spaces or special characters in there. Even with those limitations, I like to choose a name that is descriptive or that will help me, down the road, remember why I created the bookmark. In this instance, I'm going to name this bookmark Cheshire Cat. Now notice that I did not put any spaces in there, but I used upper and lowercase so that I can tell what the words are within this bookmark name. Now all I have to do is click on Add, and the bookmark is within my document. Notice, though, that you don't see any visible change in the document. Bookmarks are invisible by default. There is a way that you can make them visible, though, and we'll get to that just a little bit later in this video. Now let's create another type of bookmark. Instead of just marking a location, as I did here, I can bookmark a selection of text. I'm going to jump back up to the beginning of the document, and then I'm going to go down to page 2 just a little bit. And I notice that there's a place in here where Alice, as she's falling through the hole, she passes a marmalade jar and she picks it up. Let's say that I want to have that be bookmarked so that I can always find this instance of where Alice is dealing with marmalade. Well, the way I do that is to select the text, as you can see that I've done on the screen. And then on the Insert tab of the ribbon again, I click the Bookmark tool. The Bookmark dialog box comes up. Our existing bookmark that we created a moment ago is shown in here, but I'm going to call this one Marmalade. So all I have to do is type Marmalade, and I can add it to the document. Now if I unselect this text, if I go somewhere else, notice that there is no indication here that this contains a bookmark. As you've seen, bookmarks are not typically visible within a document. It can be helpful to see them, however, so that you don't delete them by mistake. If you want to see where your bookmarks are located, you can turn on Bookmark Display by going to File, and then we're going to choose Options right down here at the bottom to display the Word Options dialog box. And at the left side of the screen, we're going to choose Advanced. Now we want to go to the section that says Show Document Content. So we're going to skip right down to this area here. And there's an option here that says Show Bookmarks. That's the option that we want to select. All you have to do is click on it and then click on OK. And now all of a sudden, we are able to see the bookmarks within our document. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here so that I can point out the marks that Word puts in place to indicate that there is a bookmark here. Notice that this is a selection of text, and there is a left bracket at the beginning of the bookmark and a right bracket at the end of the bookmark. That lets you know that you're in the middle of a bookmark with that text. The first way to use bookmarks is for quick navigation. To jump to a bookmark, I can display the Insert tab of the ribbon again, and then go to the Bookmark option. All I have to do is select which bookmark I want to jump to, for instance, Cheshire Cat, and then click on Go To. The dialog box remains open, but when I close it, you'll see that I'm right at that point where I placed that bookmark earlier in this video. That's much faster than scrolling through a long document trying to find a specific section that you want to get to. Another way to navigate to bookmarks is to use the Go To feature. All you have to do is press the F5 key, or you can press Ctrl-G. Either way, it'll bring up the Find and Replace dialog box, and the Go To tab is selected within the dialog box. Notice that one of the options here is Bookmark. I can select that. And then over here at the right side of the screen, it shows all of my bookmarks. If I want to jump to the Marmalade bookmark, all I have to do is select it and then click Go To. The dialog box again remains open, but I close it and that particular bookmark is selected now within my document. Now let's look at a more powerful use of bookmarks in creating cross-references. Cross-references allow you to refer to content in other parts of your document, and they update automatically if the reference content changes or moves. The first step is to place the insertion pointer where you want to insert the cross-reference. In this case, I'm going to jump down a few pages here. We'll press page down, and we're going to go down to page number 5 here. And let's say that right here in the document, I'm going to press Enter. And I'm going to put a parentheses, and I'm going to say see page, and I'm going to put a closing parenthesis, and I'm going to backspace one character. So I'm just before that closing parenthesis right there. Then all I have to do is go to the References tab of the ribbon, and I'm going to say Insert a Cross-Reference, or choose the Cross-Reference tool right here. When I click on that, I see the Cross-Reference dialog box. Here I can specify that I want to create my cross-reference using a bookmark. So using the drop-down list, I choose Bookmark. And then over here at the right side, I can specify what I want that cross-reference to look like. It could be the actual text of the bookmark, or if I use the down arrow, I can say the page number of that bookmark. And let's say that I want it to be the Cheshire Cat one right here. So I'm going to choose Cheshire Cat. I'm going to choose Insert, and then Close. Notice now that we have page 27 indicated in this cross-reference. That just means that Word inserted a field that represents the page number on which the bookmark appears. If the location of the original text changes due to adding, deleting, or rearranging text, I can update this reference by selecting it and pressing F9, or by right-clicking on it and selecting Update Field. Bookmarks can also be used to create hyperlinks within your document. This is especially useful for PDFs or electronic documents. I'm going to jump back up to the beginning of the document, and let's say that I want to put a hyperlink to somewhere within this document. I don't know where I'll put the hyperlink, but let's put it here at the very beginning of this paragraph. I'm going to press Enter, and this is where I want to place the hyperlink. Now I can go to the Insert tab of the ribbon, and I can choose Link right up here and pick a place within the document. Typically, what I would do, though, is choose Insert Link right down here, and that allows you to add a hyperlink. But notice that there's a shortcut key there. It's a Control-K to add a hyperlink. Most people that I know, if they do this regularly, they will use that shortcut key. So we're going to be right back over here, and I'm going to press Control-K, and that displays the Insert Hyperlink dialog box. At the left side of the dialog box, I need to choose Place in this document, and notice that it shows all of the headings within the document, but I'll scroll down just a little bit here, and you can see that it includes bookmarks as well. So if I want to bookmark to that Cheshire Cat discussion that we talked about a little while ago, all I have to do is click on that, and then I can click on OK. And now we have that bookmark name there, but notice that it's a hyperlink, and all I would have to do is click on it or Control-click on it, and I can jump to that bookmark within the document. When you no longer need certain bookmarks, or when they become obsolete due to document revisions, removing them helps prevent confusion. To delete a bookmark, once again go to the Insert tab of the ribbon and choose Bookmark. That displays the bookmark dialog box. You already know that you could select a bookmark and jump to it, but notice as well that if I select a bookmark, that the Delete button is available at the right side of this dialog box. If you click the button, then Word immediately removes the bookmark from your document. When you're done deleting bookmarks, just close the bookmark dialog box. Now, when you consider deleting bookmarks, you need to understand that any cross-references or hyperlinks that previously pointed to the deleted bookmarks, well, they'll become invalid. They'll display error messages when they're updated. So you may need to go and update those cross-references or hyperlinks manually. At some point, you may decide that you need to change the name of a previously defined bookmark. For instance, I might want to shorten the Cheshire Cat bookmark to just Cheshire. Unfortunately, Word doesn't provide a direct way to rename a bookmark. There is a way around this, however. The most reliable method for renaming bookmarks involves creating a new bookmark with the desired name at the same location as the existing bookmark, followed by the deletion of the original bookmark. To do my renaming, I start by jumping to the Cheshire Cat bookmark using one of the methods you learned about earlier. I'm going to display the bookmark dialog box. Then I'm going to choose Cheshire Cat right there, and I'm going to say Go To. And now I'm at the location of that particular bookmark. Notice as well that Word leaves the dialog box open. At this point, I can just type the new name that I want. In this case, I'm going to type Cheshire. That's all the name that I want for this bookmark. And then I click on Add. Now I have two bookmarks in the exact same place. Again, I'm going to display the bookmark dialog box. Notice that we have both of these within here. So I'm going to select the one I no longer want, which is Cheshire Cat, and then I click on Delete. And now I'm left with just the two bookmarks that I want within this document. I've effectively renamed the Cheshire Cat bookmark to be just Cheshire. Since renaming the bookmark using this method involves the deletion of a previously defined bookmark, the same caveat I mentioned earlier applies. Any cross-references or hyperlinks that previously pointed to the deleted bookmarks will become invalid, displaying error messages when they are updated. You'll have to edit each of them to point to the new name for your bookmark. Bookmarks are one of Word's most versatile features, allowing you to navigate quickly through long documents, create dynamic cross-references that update automatically, and build interactive elements for electronic documents. Start by identifying key locations or contents in your document, create descriptive bookmarks for them, and then use those bookmarks for navigation, cross-references, or hyperlinks. With these techniques, you'll create more dynamic and usable documents that save you time and provide a better experience for your readers. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, well, you might want to consider signing up for the free Word Tips newsletter. Information is in the notes just below this video. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me today.